Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition and the lack of a leadership skill and what we're left with, which is persuasion, intimidation, performance, and deception, all charisma-based skills, and what leadership really is and how we arrive there, how we simulate it within Dungeons & Dragons. And I think, as dungeon masters, you really need to understand where leadership comes from. And I think I saw something recently that it rang so true, and it was a piece of fiction that clarified the world around me, because once it was said in the fiction, you could just look left, right, and center, especially in our government, and see this was 100% true, right? So, maybe 99% true. So I do think maybe 1 in 100 people escape this trap, right? So basically, I was watching The Stand, the new Stand on Paramount Plus. By the way, I have Paramount Plus now. The reason why is Amazon is offering it for 99 cents a month. So I'm like, yeah, I can get 2 months of Paramount Plus for 99, for $2, right? So I'm trying out Paramount Plus. There's a lot. There's definitely like 4, 5, 6 shows and 4, 5, 6 movies that I really want to see, and that should be fine for 2 months. So I'm watching The Stand on Paramount Plus, brand new creation of Stephen King's work. By the way, spoilers for this 40-year-old book and the new show is based on it, right? So, and basically, Chris Pine plays like one of the main protagonists, right? And he has 4 other protagonists who are helping him. And it comes time to talk to all the people in their encampment. And they're like, Chris Pine, you should talk to them. And he's like, I don't want to do that. I'm not a good leader. And they're all like, oh, it doesn't matter if you don't want to be a good leader. And he's like, also, I don't want to give this message. This message is terrible. And they're like, listen, you're the best person to do this. And he's like, no, I don't want to do it. I'm not good at giving messages, and they said, listen, and one dude said, one of the other protagonists said this, and it just rung so true. He said, the messenger is more important than the message, right? He specifically said the messenger is more important than what comes out of his mouth, right? Actually, the message is more important than what comes out of their mouth when it comes to, leaders, right? And so what he was saying, and the moment he said it, I knew it, right? I was like, yeah, that's true. Right? It's 100% true. And the reason why is people don't want harsh realities told to them. They desperately don't want harsh realities told to them. And so basically, what this brilliant person was saying was that, listen, if you got robust hair, you have good height. If a leader has robust hair, gleaming pearly whites, right? Symmetry, height, strength, and a deep resonant voice, it don't matter what they say. People want to listen. So it doesn't matter what the message is, right? A person who has height, strength, robust hair, a deep resonant voice, pearly whites, right? Symmetry. When they have these things, they could say, you know what, I don't like you and you're ugly, right? And that will be received by the person saying, you know what, I've kind of thought that all along. Or it doesn't matter what they said, the person is inclined to listen. And if you lack those attributes, doesn't matter what you say. Nobody's going to care, right? And I was like, when it comes to leadership, that is sure spot on. And boy, do we see that today in our, in our leadership, right? People who have height, who have a deep resonant voice, right? Who have robust hair, right? Who have symmetry. When you have these things, who have pearly whites, right? When you got them, you could just spout the most horrible things that people just curl up and listen, right? And if you're lacking those things, you could have the best message in the world, ain't nobody gonna listen to you, right? So how do we deal with this in Dungeons and Dragons? Well, once we recognize that this is the IRL, right? We have a choice in D&D. We can simulate it by saying, hey, if you have these parameters, I'm going to give you advantage every time you open your mouth to people who would respond to those, right? Which is 99% of all people, right? People don't want to say, Malcolm Gladwell did this great thing where he's like, people say they want a dark, hearty roast. They don't. They want milk, sugar, weak coffee. And it's a fact. Like, they've scientifically proven it. People will say all day long they want a dark, hearty roast, but they don't. They buy, sweet coffees that have a lot of milk in it, right? It's a thing, right? So once you recognize this, you can simulate it by saying, hey, I'm going to give you advantage whenever, if you make sure that your character has these attributes, and they're easy to get in Dungeons & Dragons, those are cosmetics. You can just say, I got them, right? You essentially can get advantage on every leadership role that comes up, which is different than persuasion. But you as a dungeon master know when leadership comes up, right? And you can emulate the world in that way. Or you could say, you know what? The whole world can go jump in a lake. This sucks that this is our IRL circumstance, and I will never put this into my game. And I'm going to make sure that people who totally lack these attributes will be listened to as if they don't, which could be really refreshing for your players, right? So it depends on how you want to go. But as a dungeon master, there's no corner of fundamental life experience that we can let go ununderstood. We have to understand life at a deeper level for every different human type, right? So that our games can resonate with reality, right? And resonate and be compelling and unique and strong. That's my opinion. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing. Have a wonderful millennium.